Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Cobra Eagle here. How are we all doing today? Hopefully we're all having an outstanding day. I know I am. Finally have gotten back into streaming. And I know it's been a long time. It already looks like we're up to 3 viewers, which is straight up amazing for only being back into streaming for literally 5 minutes. You're gonna have to excuse me. I don't know why, but there's a little bit of something caught in my throat. But nevertheless, we will get that worked out. I've got myself a bottle of water. Not that you guys can make me drink it. Not yet. I should put something in Stream Elements to do that. But I can safely say I have not touched this zoo since the last time we streamed. I have logged into it a couple times just to kind of look and see maybe what I was going to do or whatever, but have not touched it really since. So let's go ahead and get started. My guests are unhappy, so that's good. Something to fix here. I do know that there is a new DLC coming out for the game. I don't remember what the patch notes are for it now. DLC? No, that's not what I want. 1.5, the free update. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Multiple zoo entrances, stuff like that. Okay. Hopefully you recognize this from the thumbnail. This was actually one of the last times I was in the game to look at it. All right, so I did notice when we came in here, there is a vet carting off an animal over here. Where is it? Or did he already do it? So there was an injured koala in here, which seemed a little strange because I haven't played this in such a long time. And there's only 3 koala in here. But let's take a look. So you're hungry. Not a big deal. You've been injured and you're a girl. Or no, you're a boy. That's so weird. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how you got injured. But, oh, that's cute. Can I apply it to all of them at one time? Oh, that's awesome. That's a new change. All right. So let's take a look at our red kangaroos. Kangaroo. All right. So we got 1 boy, 3 girls, all decent age. I don't remember anything about whether or not they, like what their habitat breakdown is supposed to look like, anything like that. So looks like we're good, other than when these males start aging up, we could run into some issues there. We could, and I mean, we see that we have somebody aging up here, and all the 2s, like we've done before, are going to get chucked into storage at some point after all of the, or after they are in that adult phase, because right now they're all juvenile, and I don't want to put juveniles in there because then we have to wait for them to grow up, because while they're juveniles, they don't count towards the general population of the animal or of the habitat. So okay, so I guess we're gonna let this play and see what happens. Let's, I guess before we do that, let's take a look at the zoo and the animal welfare and make sure that our welfare is pretty good across the board. And it looks like it is, so that's good. Because we are on medium, so we don't have to constantly redo like toys and enrichment items or anything like that. Oh, that's actually kind of cool too. Totally didn't know that. So here, the death adders, it's basically their habitat that's making them upset. Probably the layout. Yeah. And it's because I haven't gotten research done on them yet in order to do that. I don't want to have the animal selected. I want to have the exhibit selected. Then, yeah, so we don't have anything for layout yet. Okay, cool. All right. Can you guys hear me okay? I mean, the game sounds pretty quiet, like it's barely doing anything, but I want to make sure that, like, things are coming across all right. I did a little test stream yesterday and things sounded okay, but it's always good to just verify. Nobody's complained yet, so that's good, but all right. So like I said, we're just going to let it play, and we're just going to kind of see what happens. I guess while we're doing that, we're going to figure out why our guests aren't happy. So the thirst is low, which, I mean, kind of makes sense. We don't have a whole lot of shops yet. I mean, we did put a couple here. We have some here. They do go this real long space here without any shops. And while we have some up underneath here, which I remember doing that now. So, you and your big mouth? Oh, yeah, I wonder what their welfare is going to be like. I think they don't get changed until the patch comes out. So, on Tuesday, those could be a problem. But let's take a gander here and see what else we have going on. I wonder why that critter was injured. Because normally the only time they get injured is if they're fighting. And that only typically happens if they're overcrowded. But their welfare is all really good. And he's actually... Okay, well, she's juvenile. Oh, he's not been put back yet. Oh, you're elderly. Okay. Let's take a look at koalas and see what... Loalas. See what we've got there. So it's 1 to 4, 1 male, 3 females. We have 3, but one's a child, so that's obviously not good. We probably need to introduce a new male to replace Duty at some point. So we are going to have to look at that. And so we're going to be playing this game of Cobra is going to be spending probably the preponderance of the stream trying to figure out what the hell we need to do, because it has been so long. And I have like general ideas, like as I was kind of buzzing around the zoo yesterday, looking at this, because this was a habitat for an aquatic animal that we never actually did. And I think one of the changes I read is they're going to do something with the water level. So it might be maybe it's just the water, like what it looks like. Like if it looks dirty or not dirty, it doesn't actually change the, like how dirty or clean the water really is. But I think that was something. But at any rate, so we're going to put water in here because we already have the habitat down there. We could actually get the water in here maybe. Yeah, there. So, which is what we wanted. And then here, and this way we're going to put in one of the aquatic animals because we have not done anything with that yet. Oh, inspector. Yay, perfect score. Woohoo! They didn't want to come back and inspect any of the other animals that we have going on. But all right, so let's continue on with seeing what else we can do. All right. Oh, we have the VIP, so I remember this. We can say hello. And get an additional 20 conservation credits each time we do that. Okay, perfect. Yep, you're still about to mature. It's always kind of annoying whenever it's in 5 times speed, because whenever it's like, oh, so-and-so is going to mature. Are you sleeping? Please be sleeping. Okay. Whenever it says they're gonna mature, it takes forever for them to actually do it. And then you just get distracted and you miss it. And this is for the okapis and antelopes and all that. I forgot all the animals that we'd put in here. So at any rate, while I was looking around, I saw this, and I remembered obviously that we need to do something with this. The animals that we there we go, finally, that we intended to put in there are not going to be animals that we can, where the hell did you go? That we can, they're not animals that can share the same space with the people. So we can't have, we're going to have to build a little fence around the edge of that to keep the critters and everything, or keep critters and people separated. That's what I'm trying to say. I guess, let's see, have you actually, yeah, you have reached up. So let's go ahead and send you to the trade center. So I was going to put in some sort of aquatic animal, but we are going to have to build a barrier basically all the way around in here. Not a big deal. We'll continue on with the same kind of thing that we've been doing before, where we build it out of our own, like, kind of materials and whatnot, instead of building it through a, what do you call it? Like just using the standard barrier stuff that comes with the game. The good thing is we have a keeper hut right here, so if we put the keeper door here, should be not a problem at all. We could even theoretically create like a little shortcut across, but I don't know how necessary that'll be. But it's certainly not going to hurt if we do that. So let's see. Let me grab a drink of water here. All right. And then we still have like a castle kind of thing that we want to put in here. I think this area is going to represent more of like a courtyard kind of thing. And then the actual castle is going to be like maybe mated right up against here or very close to that. And then some of these other random like staff room, this and that, it's just so we can have this ride actually operating, even though it's closed. Because I think we had set it all up, and so we can get guests using it. The staff basically, set the staff up so they will kind of keep control of things, but shouldn't be too big of a deal. All right, so yeah, we're complete. This is how long it's been since I've played. Like, I don't even have the aquatic stuff done yet, and then we're already going to have another one come out, because I think it's the Southeast Asia Animal Pack it's coming out, which should come with a bunch of themed items as well, which will be really, really cool. All right, and the reason this wall looks super boring is because we haven't put these up along the edges yet, because we were working on animals. So I guess that's what we're going to look at doing here in a minute, because I thought there were more kangaroos that had to age up, and I don't want kangaroos getting frisky with one another or anything like that. So yeah, we're all good here. And then kangaroo. Okay, so we still have a little ways to go before these two theoretically age up. Oh wait, you're aged up. That's not good. Go ahead and move you to the trade center. Why would you be a 2? That's so weird, but alright. Let's send you to the trade center. It's been such a long time, I have no idea if maybe I just mislabeled or whatever, but that should still be sufficient for everything. Really? That's inaccessible? Move. Even though it should be accessible. Oh, it's talking now, so that's good, I guess. I know there were some changes coming to that too, so I guess we'll just have to see what exactly plays out there. Alright. We've been buzzing around the zoo, not really doing anything. I guess we need to decide on something to do. We don't really have a whole lot of folks watching, so you can't... I mean, you can tell me what to do, but I don't think I'm going to actually get any answers. Alright, so... What? Can I move this onto the path? Maybe that'll fix it? And if that's the case, then let's just duplicate this. Now I've got guests jumping, which typically means that they are trapped. Come on. Get the purple plant. Get the purple plant. Come on, come on. Sake. It's right there. Get it. Get it. Have it come from the bottom? Why am I not allowed to select this? A multi-select let me get it? Oh, but it lets me get a whole lot of stuff. Okay, there we go. They sound like Sims talking. I know Jess is streaming, so she's probably not paying attention, but that definitely sounds like Sims talking. Okay. Let's check out... not that, but let's check out crime. Alright, guests, their complaints are it's thirsty and it's hot, so we need to work on those. Obviously, thirst is something that's really low, so we'll need to fix that. Low welfare, what is your issue? Stressed out. You're just going to have to get that fixed, because I can't put any more foliage in there, because you guys don't like foliage. And I already have glass up that should block most of the guests' views of you. Maybe. I guess I could change it that I have like mostly one-way glass here instead of using the glass panes, because the good thing is you can hide the one-way glass inside of these glass panes, and then it actually looks, it still works out pretty well. Okay. So I guess the goal today is going to be getting an aquatic animal in here, because we have none. So for the time being, I think what we're going to do is we're going to let the game play for just a little bit longer. We're going to let the path, or not paths, we're going to let the sun come up, so it's just a little bit nicer to kind of work with. I think we actually get more, maybe we get more paths, I don't know, but I know we got more queue paths, which is nice. That used to be, that was like a real sore subject. Okay, so this isn't real, well, maybe I can get that to connect. Nope. And do I have this on like snapping or anything? I do. Oh. A tortoise escaped? Well, what the hell? You little bugger? Did your traversable area change? I guess sort of it did. Wow, that's actually kind of insane. That's a straight up escapable area now. Now, how is that an escape area? Are they gonna jump? Like, what the? Okay, fine. Let's go ahead and take care of this. All right, so let's go ahead and box you. And then let's get in here. So this is why I haven't gotten too focused on anything yet, because I feel like we're just going to spend a lot of time trying to identify and correct any issues that we may have. Nope, not that. Escape. That we may not have addressed previously. Okay, so much like you can do in like Word or PowerPoint or whatever, you can kind of do like a Control-C, Control-V type thing. But here you do Control-D, which is duplicate, and all it does is basically creates a duplicate of the item in the configuration, or items in the configuration if you do more than one that it is, but then it's a free place kind of thing, where if I do Control-X, it will duplicate the item in place and then also give me the advanced slider so I can do things like this. And close this off so our tortoises can't get out anymore. That actually really surprises me, and I was going to look at doing like dropping this down here to cover that up, not that they can get out that way anyway, but that's just not going to be a thing. So okay, let's go ahead and exit the group, and then let's hit play, because the traversable area does not update until you do that. So that's all closed off now. Now up here, I don't know. Like, is that just because the path or the barrier maybe? That's got to be, that's the only reason, because there's no way that that is somehow escapable, but like none of this other stuff is. But all right, so let's take a look here. Let's go to our barriers. And it might be just because that barrier is a little bit further out. So let's go ahead and grab this, pull this forward. Like this little path gives them almost like a way to kind of crawl out a little bit. And there we go. Traversable area. We got to select one. Okay, perfect. That was the problem there. All right. So looks like we are good to go. Now, kangaroo's about to mature. Vet research is complete. All right, Gariel's getting some more research done. Still have a lot of animals that we need to get researched in this particular zoo. I am still very, very glad that they changed it that the animals are, or the research that you do in one franchise zoo extends to all of your other franchise zoos instead of being kind of locked into just like one or the other. Like it is with Sandbox, or, well, Sandbox doesn't really matter, but particularly challenge mode. All right. So I think we had already bought animals to put in here too. So let's take a look here. We need to go to our animal trading, and I think we cleaned out a fair amount of our animals. Yeah, we're down to like 25, so that's good. So we're going to put otters in here. So we're going to have 3 otters. They don't take a whole lot of space. Let's go here and take a look at otter. A giant. All right, so we can have up to, Jiminy Christmas. We can have up to 15 in one group. And actually, the females get a little bit grumpier. But either way, this will work. So we have like the 3 for now. We might, I don't remember why we only bought 3. It might have just been like what was available at the time, or like what we thought would work here. But yeah, and a lot of the other animals that we have here are animals that have been in our zoo, because we basically went and just kind of did this massive purge of everything to make sure that we actually had room for our other animals that we picked up along the way. So with that, giant otter, let's take a look at their habitat. They don't need any climbing. They don't really need as much space as they're going to get. They do need a lot of water, and they do need some deep water. So we are going to have to take those into consideration as we do this. Let's clear out a notification here so it stops irritating me. And it doesn't look like it actually announced this on YouTube, so, or on Twitch. So I guess, not Twitch, Jesus. All the things that I'm not trying to say. Discord, that's what I'm trying to say. But, all right. So we're going to go ahead and try to get this done. Our temps are 38, so we might have to cool it down a little bit. And then, since our guests were complaining about being hot, we go here and go to temps. You can see that there's plenty of places where they walk that we have not really done anything to mitigate the temps. And that is something that will overall affect their happiness. So we're going to have to take that into consideration as we do more and more of this. So maybe what we can do, just to throw a couple down, because they end up being in habitat is where they are. And this is one thing the game does not really tell you. It talks all about like managing the temperatures for your, what the hell you call it, for like all of the animals and stuff like that that you deal with. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I want. But it doesn't ever talk about managing temps for the people. or that is even really a thing. It's just something you kind of discover. All right, so I don't want this to get all the way down to 0. I want this to be about 20C. And I will admit that I don't really know exactly how warm or cool 20C is. I think if you double it 40 and then add 32, so it's in the 70s. So that should actually be okay. I'm going to check my math there. I mean, it's not quite double. I think it's actually just a little bit more, but that should be in the 70s. C to F. And then 20? 68. So yeah, that's actually a really good... That's a really good temp. Not too hot, not too cold. Just pretty general. So areas where we don't have to worry about what the animals care about. And even animals that might be sensitive to certain temperatures. Like we have the dingo here. And if we go to habitat, does it give us... It doesn't give us a temperature range. But we can look at the Zoopedia habitat, and you can see it's 12 to 40. So, I mean, obviously they like it warm. This is very ideal for them. Here we can do the same thing. We can take a look and see what they like. And 14 to 42. So as long as we're not going down below 15, we're going to be okay. And then we can just start moving or start putting these things around to kind of cool off this area. Now, when you like copy one of these, it copies very much the same way that your other stuff will copy, and it will copy the temperature setting that you have. But when you do that, I'm just trying to find a good place to put it. It's not like I'm lost. It'll copy the temperature setting that you have, but I think it only does it once. So I'll put this one down. And now you'll see that it's set at 20. And now because I'm going to copy this, it'll... I did Control-C. Because I'm going to copy that, it's going to retain that temp. Because I did the... Control-D again. However, if I come in here and I put one there... So that one should be the temp that we want. But if I put this one over here, let's say... like maybe right inside their habitat here. I'd like this to be at least a little visible. So maybe we'll do something like this. Now this might drop all the way down to 0. So it's a little bit goofy that when you place the one, it will go to the temp that it's supposed to be, but then when you place another, it doesn't. So it's a little kind of irritating that way, but... I'm going to try to get this set in here just a little bit better. And then slide this down. All right. Maybe bring it up just a little so the rock's not coming through. And then it's always good to just, like, when you start screwing with it, just check the temp, because whenever you do that, there are some issues. Now, why is your welfare low? Temp? What? Really? You're too hot. Did you go to the one place that it's like hot in your habitat? Because I mean, Doll Sheep shouldn't be cold. Let's just go here. Yep, that's exactly what happened. So since we need to draw the temperature down around here anyway, we're just going to go ahead and put one, guess maybe right in here. I'm going to just hold shift, pop that puppy right in there. Now, obviously, it doesn't make a lot of sense that the foliage would be growing out of here. We're going to set this to 20, and then we're going to check the Doll Sheep and see just how warm they can actually be. I don't think that 20 is too high, but it doesn't hurt to check. So, Doll Sheep. Okay, so they like it at a maximum of 16. So 16 obviously is a little bit chilly, but since this one is mostly for taking care of our guests and just kind of fixing this little bit here, we're going to go ahead and set it at 16. Our guests shouldn't complain because 16 is going to be like maybe right around 60 Fahrenheit. So that's a little cold, but it's not like freezing. Whereas if they were in temperatures where these blues are, they would definitely be whining that it's too cold. And you can see here now we've got at least better. It's not perfect because I didn't overlap them as much as I should have, but I can always throw in additional ones around as need be. It's always nice too whenever you do this, because if you throw them inside of a habitat, even if there's not a power sphere covering it, it'll still receive power. If you throw it outside of a habitat, you have to have a power like sphere going over top of it. Okay, so dull sheep, yep, okay, not ideal temp, low welfare, perfect. We understand that. We've done what we can to fix it, and we should be good. All right, so Ruby is done doing all of our research, so she will get an opportunity to do more research in a few days. But until then, let's go ahead and let the game play, see if this resolves itself. It looks like it's going to, because obviously as the animal moves out of there too, they get their temp adjusts. Yeah, and it just takes a bit because the cooler has to do the cooling, but now we're back and in business. I think that they also put these rings around. I don't know, I could be wrong there, but okay. All right, now let's get back into pausing. All right, so I'm trying to think of every otter habitat that I've ever seen in any zoo that I've ever been to has always been very like rocky. And rocky with water. And so if I go here and I check our giant otter, what kind of terrain? Oh, it's not really going to tell me what kind of terrain they like here. It doesn't do a terribly good job of saying like what specifically they like with regards to their like the terrain that they prefer. So you have to wait. I'll have to wait until we get them in here to really get an idea of what we might need. You can see here that we have almost all of their stuff unlocked already, so that's great. The only thing is food enrichment, because we just like some of the animals like their food enrichment stuff has to be specific to them. But since it's going to be rock, I was going to just throw around like a quick habitat and then we could just do whatever, but I think we're just going to do this the right way from the onset. So what biome are we in? Grasslands. Okay. Took me a second to figure that out. All right, so it'll be under nature here. So, ooh. That's fancy. Oh, cool. These are the aquatic pieces. Nice. This will be perfect. So now, how tall does a barrier have to be for these little buggers? 2 feet tall. I wish they would just leave this in meters instead of converting it for me. Or give me the option. It's really irritating because everything else is in meters. Just leave it the same. Like, I can figure it out, but apparently I'm an American and I'm not able to do math. Or at least look at numbers the same. So, I mean, that's like 1.5 meters. It's like 1.75 meters or something tall. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to try to do a combination of the rock and glass to create a barrier here that kind of works. The only thing that I don't really like is that we really only have like this wall piece or rock piece here. And I mean, of course we can like move it up and down or flip it on its side or whatever. I mean, it does like slip together pretty well. But here we could do like a really low area like this. And then what we'll do is we can put glass up inside there. And then maybe we'll do another one So I did Control X here. And now with Angle Snap, to get that to work, all you have to do is hit space. And then that way, like if I want to roll it 180 degrees, I can do that. And then you can see that it's actually much wider here. So it doesn't really fit with what I want to do here, but it's still not bad. Or I could always take it and I could do something like this and then slide that down in here and come up with it something like this. Now you can tell that like this is going to be real fun to try to get that away from there. I can also change it so that it's relative to the world axis. So now all of these controls are always going to stay in a specific direction, and then I can just leave it, or I can move the object around as I need to based on that. So it works a little bit nicer, especially if you've got something that you're trying to do like a really odd shape. There's a lot of ghosting here. That's really weird. I mean, this is a really decent monitor and everything, but at any rate, okay. So this just makes it a little bit easier to do stuff like this if you want to do something like that. And so now we have like a nice little area here. Let's go back into nature. And there should be, because this says that's a lot bigger than it claims. That is super tiny. That's huge. Huge. I could work with this. So we're going to put this rock down. Now I don't want this on the relative axis this time. That might still be on. It's hard to tell. Okay, yeah, so. Stop grabbing the green one. And then what we're going to do here with this piece is we're going to bring this up just enough to get this sort of in place like this. And then we're going to, we'll put a couple more up to kind of create like a little divider here. And then also as a way to kind of indicate that we're adding some sort of support between the different glass panes that we have going on here. So turn the game music up just a little bit because I feel like it's like really low. All right, so we're just going to duplicate this and we're going to flip this around this way. And here I don't really care if it's exactly right or whatever, because I just want this to almost feel like it's kind of merged in with this, and like in a way it's almost its own additional or its own new rock instead of it being two rocks put together. And then we can do something like that. Great. And now I want to select both of these. Oh. So because they're not in the same group, I have to hit Control X. Or I'm sorry, I have to hit I to do multi-select, and then I can move them around. And so here you can see I've got that kind of going. There's a little bit of a like a dip here, so I want to kind of fix that. And then we're going to duplicate again, and this time we're going to bring it out a little and then up. See if I can get that to just stand a little taller. Now we would have a little bit more flexibility if we were using some of the other rocks, but I kind of like this idea. And then, I mean, we're going to have to see if this blocks them. I'm pretty sure it will, because that's pretty tall. I'll show you a good way to figure that out here in just a second, because you can always tell how tall the guests are, even if there's no guests around. And there's technically two ways you could do it. You could pick them up and move them, which is not what we're going to do. Or you can come into facilities and then get the guest facilities and then a bin. And in the bin, you can see about how tall it is. So these are about as tall as a person. Because we go over here and grab, or like go by one of these adults, you can see that this, the little, like hand chucking things in there is the, just a little shorter than an actual person. So here, these are about as tall as a person should be, and should be all set there. So we're just going to go ahead and you don't see it, but on my keyboard I'm hitting 8 because I've been playing so much Valheim, and I put 8 as my, what do you call it? My hammer for like building things, and I just, now that's all I ever seem to want to do is just hit that button, thinking that that's the appropriate button for all this. So we're going to come into construction here. Let's go into glass. And then I just want the glass panes. So the ones without any edging on it. Although we could use something like this. Because I could... I just don't think this is going to be long enough. But we can see if it'll work. And I can always move this and then go from there. I'll just do this 90. Do this a 90. Now the only thing is these really look like they're kind of supposed to be set back into a frame. And so I don't really like that. What I actually want to do is I want to do Control X. Now this is another cool feature that you can do. Now that I've got Control X there, if I want to select a different object, now it's not going to work. It's got to be a free floating object, not a grid object. So it can't have this little hash in it. It has to be a free float. Wow, a 12 meter square glass pane? That is insane. That's huge. Oh my god. Sorry. Distracted. Cobra's distracted. Oh, they finally fixed that. That's good. So I think we actually just want the 4x2 because that should be more than sufficient. But you can see that it actually puts it in the same like angle as the stuff that we're messing with. So now I can bring this up and then slide this over. And I'm going to put this down here just like this. And then I don't know if there's going to be like a trim piece that maybe we can put over top of that. Now this doesn't have to be along the same line as this. So I'm actually not going to do that. I'm just going to do it this way because I like that, kind of how that looks better. And like this. Okay, so now you can see that we have this here. This is still a little too far away, so what we're going to do here actually is we're going to hit I, and we're going to just select all of this. And now I don't have anything underneath it. I was actually really close to selecting this though. But we don't really have anything underneath here, which is great, so it works out. Here I was actually just screwing around with putting a path down that kind of covered all this up to create a like no kidding tunnel up underneath here, but that's different project for a different day. At any rate, so I have all this selected and now I can just merge it into a group, and now it will act like a group when I come in here. So I can select it, I hit R. Now all the pieces are in here. I can multi-select by holding shift without having to go and hit I first, which is really nice. So here we're just going to do this, and now I want to actually duplicated it, which wasn't what I really wanted to do, but I just wanted to hit X on that, but instead I hit Control X. Either way though. So here we'll just do this again. This time if I just hit X, it'll just take the group and then let me start sliding around the way that I want. And then maybe since we have it set the one way over there, we'll do it this way here. And just kind of get that slid into place there. And maybe we'll even tilt it a little like this, so it's at least a little bit different. Here we can slide this. So I was just really like, it was awesome to see those like gargantuan glass panels, because I feel like that gives you a lot of flexibility in different things that you can do if you want to, with building an entirely glass structure or something like that. I don't remember there being panels quite that epic in recent times that I've played. Like I said, the last time I played this game was back December, maybe January. And then Valheim became a thing, and then I played that for a long time. I have over 200 hours in that stupid game. And while I really, really like the game, man, is it a time suck. Like, it chewed up so much time. It's a lot of fun, but... Okay, I'm looking for something to kind of cap the tops of these off with. Normally there's like a little metal... like a little thing over top of it or whatever. So what we could do is... So those don't actually have any way to like legitimately snap, but as long as it's even with the surface, I can make this work. So I can do this, and then the cool thing is it's wide enough that it should kind of stick out of both sides here. So we can do this like that, and then maybe bring this up just to that level, like just enough to cover the top. And we'll put that in here. And then I want to change the color of this to black. And I think that'll work. And now obviously that doesn't look super great with that like hole there. But what we can do now is we can duplicate it, which is just Control D. And now we can put another one in place, and then you can see that it actually fit perfectly right inside here. I mean, there's just that little itty bitty bit, but that's perfect. That's exactly what I was hoping it would do. So this one's going to be a little bit more difficult only because, oh, I know what I can do. All right, so we're just going to do this again because I can get the height without it being too much of a problem. Because all I have to do is come over here and just get this adjusted so everything's kind of in line. And now all I need to do is just bring this over like so. And you can see that that's just a little bit off from where I would want it. So I can just slide this guy this way. And then let's just make sure that we're still sitting pretty good there. Actually, I might be able to pull it out just a little more. And the reason I want to make sure that I have at least as close as I can is I want to be able to slide another one in place over here. And so you can see here now, like this is kind of like clipping through there, which isn't necessarily what not clipping through there, sorry. It's like peeking out. So we'll have to make some adjustments to the rock there to kind of hide that. But that is creating a nice little like layer across the top here. And now you'll have to forgive me if there are aquatic pieces that would have been a much better fit for something like that. By all means, I would be happy to use that. I just didn't look for it because I'm not used to having those as pieces. But we're going to go ahead and take a look here. So I do remember the fence. I actually think the fence is super cool. I don't know if I used it anywhere. I thought about using it somewhere, I think. I was just messing around. That's actually pretty cool. Let's see here. Shop canopy. I know I messed with some of this stuff. I just don't remember what I was doing. Oh, so yeah, this thing. We're not going to place this. This is just an asset that I came across in... man, this destroys my frame rate. It is so terrible how many pieces there are. But this was a... workshop item that I came across. It's Nautilus something or other, but basically it's a shell, and I mean I have the money to put it down, and fortunately the creator created a little like guide for like how far above the ground you should or shouldn't place this. I think because my terrain's a little off here, that's why I'm struggling with getting like what I should see, because you shouldn't see the red one, but you should see the green one. And now I put this down, now my frame rates will come back to not being so crazy. But I mean, they have this, they created this thing, and I mean, it's actually like really, really awesome. But I am not going to place that because that is not my creation. But it's, you know, still something that you can get in there and you can kind of look around and see like what other people did, or how they kind of messed around with stuff, or whatever it might be. you know, how they might have thought about the items or objects in the game in a different way than maybe you have. Okay, so we didn't really have any sort of like pole kind of thing anyway, so that works out. Yeah, this is going to get real old real fast. Having this kind of like texture repeating like that the whole way across. Just trying to think. Because one thing I could do, if I come back in here, I could flip it and then do something like that, and that would help defeat that a little bit. And then I'm just trying to think of how I want to do this. Are these animals shy in any way? Confident. So not shy, so we shouldn't have to worry about like putting them in with what do we call it? We can't have the humans in there, but we shouldn't have to worry about like keeping them, the humans, from like stressing them out. That's the word I was looking for. Okay. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do for a barrier, because while I like this, I'm not super thrilled with it. I mean, I like this part a lot. Mostly. I'm not a huge fan of this one, honestly. I feel like I should just take this, duplicate it, spin it around 180-ish, like so, and then slide it like this. And then, I mean, it already fits a little bit better with that. I guess the other thing I can do is it's not like anything says I have to do them exactly like end to end like this. I can always pitch them up and down, and like I've done, flip them around and have them overlap a little bit more, and so on and so forth. So maybe what we'll do is we'll actually do that here, because I mean that glass goes all the way down, so it's not too big of a deal. And then this looks like it fits in there a little bit better. And then we can even do, let's go back into nature. And then I like those steps. I think we'll get a chance to use those somewhere. I almost wonder, like, I mean, man, it would be such a long build like this was. But, I mean, man, those pieces are actually, like, really big compared to this. But I almost wonder if it would be just as effective to build something out of these pieces instead of using a bunch of the bigger ones. Having to retrain myself on the controls too, that part's always fun. I like that it's like small and then it's as big as some of the other rock stuff. This would be a great thing for like in the corner maybe, or something along those lines. So maybe we'll put something like this here. Game's hitching a little bit. That's always fun. All right, so obviously that's very large. That's large. That's small. Now this is obviously something that we could take and then we could also use as a way to create another little wall section here. Now the only thing we have to make sure of is, since we do have stuff down underneath, that it doesn't clip into that and then look like what's going on, but it doesn't, so we're good. And so this actually might be a good way to do a different little section here and split that up a little bit. Because what I was going to do, because we have like this little piece here, we can use this as a way to actually, you know what? I actually have a different idea. So just leave that there. I'm going to delete these. And then I want to get this lined up right. That's pretty much right on the end. So like right there. Then here, let's go ahead and slide that back. And then this one, this is really just more a matter of trying to avoid any clipping in the textures. And so now what I want to do here is I want to grab this, this, and this. And then we're just going to try to get this to... Doesn't even really have to mate up because I plan to put something between them. But, and you can see that like the way the glass kind of overlaps there, it creates a weird little line anyway. So we're going to fix that. But this at least lets me have an opportunity to do this a little bit differently. And so you can see how like this is moving, like it doesn't move straight. It's kind of weird whenever you have multiple objects that aren't lined up in a perfect way that the game is sort of expecting. So it just creates some weird movement of things. So you just have to be careful if you're trying to like line things up. And like as I do this, it would actually be moving further away. Now the angle is not steep enough that it really makes a huge difference, but it is still kind of a nuisance if you're trying to do certain things. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take this little guy, just going to plop one down, and then get you 90 degrees, and then actually maybe even do that way. Yep, I like that. Now this is going to be the part where it's super fun. I should have probably just gotten it in place first. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just do this. Oh, and of course it rotates in a weird spot, of course. Why, Frontier? Why? Because now when I rotate this, it's going to be in a really goofy spot. It's okay, we'll get it. Actually, I think that actually worked pretty well. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to make almost like our own little pillars with this object instead of those rocks, because I actually like this a little bit better. It's just a matter of kind of getting this lined up the way that it needs to be. It doesn't have to be perfect by any means. And you can see that we had some room to go up, but I think I want to do like this. And now that also closes up all of that other stuff, and it just creates a nice little like kind of, I mean, natural as best we can looking pillar that will cover this up and still act like a decent way to kind of have a viewing area for animals while not making something super repetitive all the way around. Okay, perfect. All right, sweet. Let's go ahead and we'll just see if we can move this down here. It looks like we can. Now the rotation point is still a little like goofy, but it's not the end of the world. And then I think that looks really good. You can see it's kind of hovering over this. So maybe what we'll do is we'll take this block here and just slide that back just a little bit. Maybe just give it just a touch of rotation this way to kind of fill that in. There we go. And so I think that's how we're going to try to continue to do most of this along this side. And maybe this will just be our barrier all the way around, is something along this instead of trying to like block things off or whatever. We might use some of these other rocks elsewhere. And then, so I think the way we're going to do this is we're just going to grab these couple pieces here like this. And this is going to be what we're going to use to make our initial kind of wall. And now, of course, the arrows aren't lining up perfectly and all this stuff. So we're going to have a little bit of a challenge with just trying to get things to line up kind of nice and pretty, but it shouldn't be too hard, and especially since everything's kind of hidden back behind these things, we should have an easy time. And then what we'll do is we'll come back through and we'll grab the other rock there, and then we can create this kind of heavier rock stuff up underneath. We could use these little rocks to create like a little wall underneath it, but I think it'll be better to use the way that we've been going. And then we can use this to just kind of line up, slide that down, and move on. So, okay, Control X. And as you can see here, like I slide it and it doesn't go quite the way that I want, but that's okay. You should be able to easily get that fixed. And now whenever it's highlighted, you can just continue to do Control X. And keep repeating it. And a nice thing about doing it this way is it's not going to make it that everything is exactly spaced out 100% the same way. So you can see the little gaps there. We're doing it kind of inadvertently, but I could go back pretty far and try to make some of them a little bit smaller if I wanted to. Not super concerned about it, but it's still something that is a possibility. All right. And now I didn't even think about this. So I think we're going to do that. And now we're just going to hit X for the whole thing, because I want this to be a little bit further away so we can put either talking points, benches, foliage, something in there instead of it being like right up against the edge. Because whenever it's right up against the edge, do we have a habitat that's like that? I think we've managed to avoid that, because most of them we've set it back just a little bit. But like when it's right up against the edge, you have just this wall, which, I mean, works. But then it makes it a little bit harder to decorate it and make it nice. And the more decoration and whatnot that you put into things, the happier the guests will be. So now that we've got that, and I just want to get the kind of the distance away kind of figured out before we get too far into this process, because as soon as we start going around a corner and whatnot, then it's going to be more of a nuisance to change. It's certainly still changeable, it's just not as easy. It is not a Cobra approved process. All right, perfect. Actually, I think I want to take this and start twisting it a little bit this way. And then we can do another. And this way we have a little bit more space here for something as well. We can even maybe twist this just a little more. And then I feel like that might be just a little too far away, so let's just do that. Okay. Go. This one shouldn't be too bad either, and the nice thing about this particular piece is it works out pretty well that I can use this to kind of hide edges and still make the whole thing look kind of nice. Yep, that's working perfectly. And then the idea here is I wanted something that, you know, wouldn't appear to be climbable or anything like that either. So our guests, especially children, wouldn't necessarily feel compelled, not that they actually can do this, but feel compelled to climb over anything. Whereas if you put like an actual like fence or something like that, which we have plenty of throughout, even as barriers for our habitats, guests could theoretically climb over those, and this helps make that less of a legitimate threat if it were a mechanic the game even had. So here, obviously, this is a very kind of snug corner, but I think we'll be able to get one more panel, a panel, and then just kind of work our way around. If we didn't have the fortunate problem of it working out that way, then I would have probably just skipped it, and then we would have used this for maybe a shop or something like that. And I mean, not that a shop is a really ideal thing to put here, but we could have probably put it back here and then just had it connect there, since our guests are complaining a lot about thirst, and they, like, especially up here, they walk all the way around up here. There are some shops in here, but I don't know, maybe that wouldn't be a bad idea. Can I get a shop in here? And then I can use the shop as part of a way to build like a, what do you call it? Like more of a rock facade around it. Oh, goodness gracious. A rock facade around it that keeps the guests, or just adds to the overall habitat and everything. Doesn't look like that's gonna... Oh, it does. Because if I go too far back, it's clipping with the path there. So now... Yeah, I mean, it's going to put some guests out in the main path, but I think we'll be all right with that. So we'll decorate that building up in a little bit. And then here I can just like get back to working on what I was working on. And now that set the grid for the rest of it, because this is a grid object, as it were. So you have kind of free reign when you initially put it down, but now any grid-based object that goes as part of this whole little building will be based on what that is. I won't be able to take a... if I go to construction and here, and I take like this, like you can see that the grid is now like that. So nothing we have to worry about. Like I was anticipating that would be something that we would have to deal with, and that'll be okay. Not duplicate, that's wrong. So here you can see that we can actually just click and drag and get the pieces that we want. Nope. Scheiße. Instead of having to do the whole like shift click this, shift click that, unless of course when we go to highlight, we don't actually get everything that we want. So it's always a pain in the ass whenever you accidentally grab like the one that controls like the elevation of the item, because then it kind of screws you up, because getting it back to the same elevation is not a simple task. And it doesn't have to be simple, but it's still just kind of annoying. Okay, perfect. And we should be able to get a second one here. Yep. Sweet. I love it when I do this and then like these little things come together. Because sometimes when you do this stuff, it doesn't work out, and it's kind of a huge pain in the ass. Because then you're sitting here fussing with, like, you know, instead of, like, I had to make this bump out here for this because it just didn't line up, and so I needed to basically get a whole nother piece in here. I could have probably shrunk it down to something a little smaller and just made it work, but it's just those kind of things that you end up having to deal with sometimes, especially when you do these custom barriers, because there's not as much flexibility, at least when you're doing like a you come up with a particular pattern and you just kind of like rinse and repeat it. I mean, clearly there's a lot of flexibility in that. I could have used different pieces. I could use smaller sections. I don't need as big of a piece of glass. I don't need the little metal rods on top. I could go to like half the length of them, all this kind of stuff. And so I do have those as options in making this a more flexible barrier, but you know, it's just something that I do whenever I need to, instead of trying to build a whole bunch of little things that will fit together super nicely from the start. And then it's just, you know, you just come through and you build what you need and you troubleshoot it and you get what you need done. So this is getting a little bit far away, but that's okay. Maybe we'll put it in a little bit something more decorative here. Oh, you know, the only thing is, I guess all I really need to do is just rotate this, make that angle sharper. Because I was thinking about it, is like I wouldn't mind the animals being able to be like right here, because the guests like it when they're able to be closer to the animals. So we'll just do that. And then, yep, that's getting it there nice and well. Perfect. And then we'll just keep going. Just chipping away. Happy little cobra. So I know we don't have a lot of people like specifically watching right now. I think it's probably me and like one other person. Obviously that's expected considering what's been going on with me not being here for such a long time. However, if you are watching this in the future and you want to leave a comment to see me work on something specific, or even just have questions or whatever, please feel free to do so. That does really let me know kind of what you'd be interested in doing, because sometimes I just run out of that creative juice, which is part of what's been keeping me from streaming for such a long time. So if there's different things that you guys have questions about or ask me about or whatever, I think that would really kind of get some things going, because it would kind of force me to think about stuff that I want to, or that I may want to accomplish. How you doing, Raisin? You just been lurking? I need a lurk command. Now over here, because the path is so close, we could put donation bins over here instead of like on this side. And I mean, even over here it would work, but it makes more sense, at least in my mind, on this side. Have you tried to do packs yet? Yeah, so that's actually what I'm working with right now. Sort of, is I'm trying to get an aquatic animal in there. And so that's kind of the goal for this stream, is to get an aquatic animal in. Took me an hour for 3 nails. Is he just like not letting you do it? Are you like inadvertently hurting him? I'm sure he thinks it's just a game, which is a little funny, but yeah. All right, let's get this. This probably just need to go back like that. Yep, perfect. Oh, you gotta hold him more. Let him know it's a safe space. Raisin's a safe space. Kind of sucks that we're gonna have to go back through here and put something up along the bottom of all this, but I mean, it'll be all right. It's just kind of annoying. I guess there's something else we could do to make it go a little faster, but we'll see. But that's the thing about this game that I've said probably a million times before. Like, you can go fast and just get things done, but if you really want things to kind of look kind of authentic and have its own character, it really is something that is kind of a time-consuming thing. I don't think I told you, Raze, but Cyber and I, we're helping out some friends, and so we're going to have a couple of dogs in probably just like 2 or 3 weeks, like mid-April. But they're older. One of them's 9 and the other one's 4, so we shouldn't have to deal with the puppy problems. But there's still going to be anxiety and everything else because, you know, they're new to us, we're new to them. So stuff like that. Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure if I told you. Oh yeah, I think I told you the other day when we were talking on Discord. Holy shit, Razor, what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be sleeping? Hasn't Razum worn you out for the night? You guys have been hiding out in your office all damn day. Hiding from Razum's community. Well, it'll be good. I mean, we get the... They're going to be paying for a lot of the, like, the food and this and all that. You know, we're just happy to help take care of them. Oh, patrolling with Rob, huh? Okay, let's get this going. Raze, have you heard anything back on your application yet? Let's see. I might need to move this rock pile here. Hey, you know what? When you're not in your 20s anymore, you get lazy. You start figuring out how to make the 20-year-olds do all the shit. That's how it works. I don't know if I'm supposed to say what application, so that's up to Razum. Okay, so yeah, this is going to be where it's going to get goofy as to whether or not this will work the way that I want. Actually, I know what we could do, so let's... actually, fuck it. Let's just flip this around, because it doesn't really matter. And we'll start doing it this way. Yeah, Razum's applied to travel back in time to the Wild West. They think he might be too ginger for the times. Okay, I wonder if I can make that fit. Is this going to be one of those like super lucky ones where I get it perfect? Turn this maybe just a touch more. Ginger cowboy. Oh, yes. Yes, that is going to work. So I could just leave these a little bit closer. And that will be perfect. Oh, I love it when that happens. That is rare that that happens, especially with like custom stuff like this. Straight up rare. Now all I have to do is just pull this puppy down here. And voila. Those ends are covered and it's perfect. Look at that. Itchy beard. Is this the Palace Zoo? Yes, it is. So I asked on my Discord, I got 2 responses that if I started streaming again, should I continue working on a zoo that I've been working on or start with a new one? And I got 2 responses back saying to continue with what I was doing. So that's what I'm doing. All right. I think what we're going to do here is we'll just kind of work with this. And then we'll just basically spin this around and so on and so forth to kind of get it so it doesn't look like it's too repetitive all the way around instead of fighting with a bunch of other pieces here or there. Well, thanks, man. Been putting a lot of work into it. I haven't done anything with the zoo since I last streamed with it, so I guess that's a bonus, is that I'm still working with the same zoo. Just having to get back into it a little bit and like even remember like hotkeys and stuff like that, because some of those I think I was like toying around in a new zoo just to kind of refamiliarize myself with things and then see if anything came to me as like what I wanted to do. And it was like I couldn't figure out how to make the path like go up or down at an angle. I was so frustrated. I was like, what the absolute fuck? Like, and there's two ways to do it, but one is definitely far less ideal than the other. Okay, so this is going to be where these little pieces are maybe not going to be as, I say little, but these larger pieces aren't going to be as ideal for this plan. But I think what we'll do is we'll actually flip this around. Get this way. Because when we get to the corners, it might be a little bit more challenging. But other than a couple of places, we don't really have a lot of hard corners, and the only hard corners are like the 90s, so we should be able to work with that pretty well. Alright, so we got that one in place. Actually, I guess let's just go ahead and slide you in place here. And if we have to, like if there's an area that's just ultra ugly or something, I mean, I don't think we're going to run into that, but if there is a place that is like that, then we'll just use some of the different rocks that there are to kind of cover it up. All right, and flip this around. Yeah, I'm actually surprised, like with as long as I've been working in this zoo, I really don't have that many animals or guests in it, but it's not really a big zoo, it's a detailed zoo. So perfect. I actually like the way that worked out. That is awesome. All right, let's get you flipped around like that. And maybe drop this a little bit just for a little bit of difference there. That's perfect. Oh man, that's like so awesome. So, I guess what we're going to do here is we'll get that there, and do this, bring this way, and we'll do it something like this, hopefully. Going to leave a little bit of a kind of a mess there, but Discord didn't tell me also. Oh my god, your what? I assume that means beard, but I haven't been brushing up on my potato. I wonder if I can just do it this way. Oh yeah, this will actually work out better, I think. Yep, that's much better. Mucho betterer. Beard. No, that's bared. Like the animal bared, which that's not even a word. I'm pretty sure it spell checks you. It does. All right, let's get this flipped around. Hopefully this one works out. It should, because we can bring this way. Now this is going to be a little bit snug. There you go. It's like bread, but the R's in the wrong place. Yeah, it's almost like these automated machines that we have on our desks, like, do something other than just let us play games. Yeah, I don't know why, like, Discord didn't say anything this time. Like, I don't know what bot it is, but it sucks. And it's not Nightbot, it's like Me6. I mean, if you want to, you can. All right. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and raise this up just a little. Maybe spin it around. Like that. So this is going to get kind of clipped into whatever building we build for this, but that'll be okay. I'm not worried about that. Yeah, let's spin it around. And this way. Yep, that's good. Slide it maybe that direction a little. All right, here we go. We're getting there. We just need to get all the way back around here and then... Oh, you know what we didn't build in here? Son of a bitch. It's a keeper door. Damn it. Oh my god, I'm so out of practice. Fuck. Thanks, potato. All right. I don't imagine we're going to get a lot of viewers today anyway, just because it's been a long time since I've streamed. And like even folks like Plebby have left the community, so... What is wrong with my beard? Don't be jealous. You've hit adolescence, you can grow. It won't be as glorious, but... if you want, raise them. You guys are free to do whatever you want to do. It is a free country. It's not like I'm going to turn away viewers. You're clearly not here. That would be true, Louise. Have you ever watched me on YouTube? One day you'll have a huge ginger beard. You got to get through puberty first there, bud. How have you been, Louise? It's like getting a gang back together. Yeah, this one's going to be a little bit problematic, but I think we'll be able to make it work. Because it doesn't have to be a perfect edge by any means. Let's maybe leave this one as it is. Oh, you know what we could do too, because we haven't done this in a little bit, is raise it up. Well, Razum, do you purposely keep your beard that short, or does it only grow that long period? Cyber and I were actually having that debate the other day. Well, I didn't have college homework to do today. I didn't have anything else really going on. And I figured, why not stream? And just kind of see what happens. Mostly because I got a new audio mixer and just, I don't know, I guess with a new patch coming out for Planet Zoo, I just really started thinking about like maybe I should get back into it because I really like this game. Okay. Well, why don't you let it grow and get the Santa Claus beard that Potato would love to see you have, and then you can sit it in your lap and make it ultra weird. Or is that why you don't grow it that long? giant Santa. Or Jinja Santa, sorry. If you let it grow, it'll look weird. Well, you got to get through that phase, like mine right now. Like, especially on this side. Like, if I don't have it, like, combed or brushed right, then it, like, seems puffy. And it's just because of the way the hair grows. You got to find yourself, I mean, at least I know I have to go find myself a master barber to start getting it shaped out. Because I don't want, like, the shit where it grows out like this. Like, I would rather it be just kind of long and have, like, a decent shape. So, but I got to go somewhere to make that happen. Is that... Yeah, that certainly is showing up over there. That's weird. Hog would play in it. It's probably true. Instead of biting the microphone, it'll just... Pog will just bite the beard. Alright, let's move this down just a little, like that. Our guests are going to have such good views of the otters. It's going to be amazing. Holy shit, guys. 5 concurrent viewers. That's awesome. I did not expect to get there today. Oh. Yeah, when we have those dogs, I'm sure I'll be taking loads of pictures of them to send to, like, our friend and her mom and whatnot. It'll be like they're our own. What the hell did I do? Okay, there we go. It'll be a lot of fun, though. And then when they finally go back home, which we don't know how long that'll be, but when they go back home, I'm sure it'll be a sad day because we'll get used to having them. And then Cyber's going to try to talk me into getting our own. Oh, man. Sorry, I've got like heartburn today. It's making me cough. This way. Has anybody watched the it's like when your stomach or it's more so like your throat feels like it's got acid in it. But has anybody watched the Snyder cut of Justice League yet? If you have, don't tell me anything about it specifically or like any specific details, but I just want to know like if you thought it was better than the original or if it was an extra hour plus of nothing of any real relevance. Let's pull that down. I'm going to try to get this a little bit lower. All right. And this way. The Cyber and I are considering watching it, but that's 4 hours is a long time. And I thought Endgame was long at 3 hours. Song sounds different. I'll turn it up for you. Oh. I know what to do to turn it up. Never mind. Special today. This one might. There. I don't think I've heard that one before. What's that? Oh. Okay. Yes, I made it get loud because of it being a song that I wanted everybody to listen to a little bit more closely. But I turned it back down. Need to create a damn cheat sheet on my like for my audio mixer, and it's not that I don't understand the audio mixer, but it's just the different sound going into different places and so on and so forth. It gets a little like overwhelming to remember everything. And so there we go. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. And then we can put in, we're going to put in a keeper door right here. So we'll have to just delete this stuff out, but I think we should be able to make something effective there without it being too crazy. And then we'll get our otters in here, and then we'll see how they kind of fit with the environment, and then we'll start hopefully decorating it, getting some things for them to play on, so on and so forth. And then it should be cool because then it should also draw some guests up into this area here. And I was thinking about it, and I don't know if I'm going to do it, but because obviously we have a habitat here, we could create another habitat right in this area, but it would have to be a relatively small animal that doesn't require a lot of space. And we've already used like the Chinese pangolin, stuff like that. So I don't know if there's another animal that would be really small that we could use here. But the only problem is I'd still have to work in another gate, because even if the animals and the guests can be in the same space, if the animals can just walk out from through these things, like I wish these would actually block the animals, and then it would be my responsibility to block that. That would be super nice, but that's obviously not the way that they let us do it. Oh, Luis, if you're still here, how's getting affiliate going for you? Seeing you pop into Discord and announce your streams and whatnot, but I really haven't had a chance to watch them. I assume that the thing that's holding you back is just the number of people who were watching. Like the viewer count. That's the words I was looking for. I guess this, because it's so close to the thing here, is going to just have to touch. Touchy, touchy. Maybe we can make this a little bit lower. Since that's already covered up, we can probably make this like that. Oh, yeah, that's perfect. Love it. Loving it. Loving it. Ooh. Move it over a little further than I want. Right. Yeah. Perfect. Because all I'm really trying to do is actually closing up these little gaps here. And then I just want to make sure that the rock gets to the point where that's covered, so it doesn't look like it's floating like it actually technically is. And then here, I should be able to just rotate this a little bit more so those blend together. Maybe slide it that. And we'll maybe do a little bit of this. And let's go ahead and get that going. Potato, is there a better bot than MeBot for announcing like YouTube? Or I don't know, maybe because I haven't used it, but it's dumb because sometimes I go in there to save like the title and all that before I start streaming, and then it's like, oh, Cobra's posted another video, and that's not what's really happened. I've changed details on a video that doesn't exist yet. I just want a bot that works consistently and does what it should. How much is premium? Because if I'm going to start streaming again, I might just go ahead and do it. And the cool thing about this particular setup that I've done here is if I ever decide like, oh, well, I don't want the guest to be able to look in a particular area or something like that, all I have to do is highlight one of the rocks, and then I can slide that puppy up and cover it up, and then the guest can't see in. So, because if you look down here, you can see that there is a, like it's all basically just sticking into the ground. And I'm actually glad I did this because I wanted to see if there was any other areas where it's like popping through, but it doesn't. Man, it's like super trippy going around like this with the camera having that ability to free float through the stuff. It's actually really funny. Okay, so we need to delete this, 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 and this. And we'll get a door in here, and then we'll go from there. So habitat door. I think you can just put a wooden door up. And then I do need to account for panel sizes. So we're going to go ahead and do this. Okay. So that works. Okay with that. This is a little bit goofy. R. And then let's see if I can fix that. I don't think it's like super expensive potato. I just think it's obviously something I would have to just decide if I want to do or not. All right, so that's clipping down there a little bit, so maybe we'll just raise that. Lifetime is 90. That's not bad at all. That's something I can probably do. Okay, perfect. That works. So now we want to come in here and we want to barrier. Let's put this, change it to null. And convert this to null. And I guess we'll just do 4-meter sections. I think they changed the color of this. It's like a brighter blue now. Frame rate seems terrible right now too. I guess Louise disappeared. She didn't answer my question. I plan to move all these little like pillars inside of like the little stone things, so that's why I'm just trying to keep it that I have the same number of them all the way around, so I don't have to like add or delete any of them later. Because they're super easy to move. It's just getting in here and doing it. Okay, so let's do this. Oh, what? No, that wasn't what I wanted. Just this one. Oh, really? I can't just move that vertex now? Oh, that's cute. Okay, so fine. I'll play your stupid little game. So how's everybody been? No, I haven't really talked. I mean, I talked to folks on Discord here or there, but it's not quite the same as hanging out in chat. Or are you guys just interested in seeing what this is finally going to look like? I don't know if this is going to get finished today. It might just we get the animals in here and at least get some of the basics taken care of. Because I got to think about some ideas of like what I might want to try to do from like a waterfall perspective or something like that. Because they have these new waterfall features that are pretty cool. I wonder if the otters can dive. That'd be a pretty cool thing if like you could build the waterfall or something that they would basically like jump off of into the water. I don't think they have that mechanic built in, but I'm good, Potato. Thanks for asking. You ready for summer break already? Guess it is already almost April. Summer should be right around the corner. I can tell you I'm ready for a 2-week break between my classes. Oh, okay. So you're off all this upcoming week? Okay, so let's do Control X. Now let's go to glass. And I don't want this. I want a, what is that, 4x2? So I want 2x1? Is that right? Will that do what I need it to do? If it's set up the right way? I feel like it will. Because it doesn't have to dip all the way into the ground like that. So yeah, this should work. Let's try to get this here. And we're going to cover up the edges of this with more of the same stuff that we've been using in other places. So it's just a matter of kind of getting this generally the right spot, and then we should be able to make adjustments as we need to get this set up right. So I guess we'll just put this more into here, because there, obviously that leaves a gap there, and I think we can work with the gap on this side a little bit better. So it's unfortunate too, because it's not quite going through here. I guess it doesn't have to, because it's not like the animal can really get that far over anyway. Maybe we'll just do this. Just focus on the aesthetic instead of the function. And then I should be able to make that work. Cool. So we're actually just going to do this, and then we'll duplicate it and do it on the other side instead of having to recreate the whole thing. So let's go to beam. And then where's the metal beam? Because I think there's a short one. There is. let's do that. Perfect. Change our color to black so it fits. Blackida. Then rotate that 90. And we'll do like we did before, where we're just going to get this at the same height as the other ones here. Now you can see here the texture is a little bit different, so we're going to flip it on its side like this, and then that seems like it works a little bit better. So I'll go ahead and do that, and right there, perfect. And then we can just bring this to right about here, and now you can see that's not really even left and right, so we'll just do this, and sweet. Now I should be able to do these junctions. Nope, not the small ones though. Welcome back, Louise. I didn't know you left. Did you say you were leaving? Is that what the little circle means, that you'll be right back? So I was asking you earlier, like, did you have you like, how's affiliate been going for you? Like, have you making progress towards that, or is that still something that's been a little bit of a challenge? Okay, so we have that. Now there's obviously a gap there. So let's do Control X here. Oh, this is going to be super fun to get this situated right. Well, who do you have watching you regularly? Does like Paige come over and watch to help out? Or Potato? All right, let's slide this in here. Because what I might end up doing is I might just take, what do you call them? Like a wooden beam or something like that, and just slip it right in between there. How's university been going for you? Nope. Something that's gonna have. Oh, you know what beams that do have the right color? The habitat ones. These guys. That's perfect. Wonder if I can just get a taller one. Yep, that'll work. That way it covers that interior beam too. And then do that. And then nope, not gonna work. What I pick 4 meter? Yep. I might move the door over a little bit too. I feel like that didn't really change anything, but that's okay. Here, just want to slide these down to about here. And then maybe, just maybe, we can use... Oh, no, we need bear habitats. Maybe we can get something like this to... Oh, game. Okay. I can work with this. that. And that looks like it's pretty much on point. Maybe right about there. Control X, and then we'll bring this over here like so. Perfect. Actually, we'll slide this one in just a touch more. Then we'll actually raise these two up. Like that. Okay, cool. Now we have an area where our staff can get in, our critters cannot get out. It's not the most ideal looking little structure there, but it still will do what we need. All right. I just didn't want to have to like cram in a bunch of wood beams or metal beams or something like that to get that going. All right. So now we have a habitat. Giant otter. Now let's go ahead and get our animals and put them in here. I'm excited. This is actually the first time I've placed an aquatic animal of any kind. Am I allowed to multi-select out of here yet? Nope, sure can't. I think they're reintroducing that with the new patch. Let's see. Let's go to quarantine. At least it brings this back up for me. Quarantine and Ricardo. Quarantine. Okay. So our giant otters are all getting moved where they belong. So let's hit play and let that happen. I was like, why is that? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god. I don't think I could believe that if I didn't see it with my own damn eyes. Holy shit. Alright, I guess we're just gonna... Can I actually close it? I mean, I know it's closed, but... Can I get it where it doesn't warn me? But I don't think I'm going to be able to make that happen. I mean, I had thrown this one down here just because I needed something to power this, so I could just move it over. I just wonder if it breaks what the mechanic will do. It's not the end of the world. I'm not super concerned about their thirst yet, but I just really want to get critters in here and see what happens. Yeah, I know. Facility without power. That's awesome. Thanks for telling me, Captain Obvious. Congratulations on your promotion to captain, game. And then, like, the water cleanliness and stuff like that, I honestly have no idea how to, like, manage that for deep water. I mean, I might just have to put, like, the facilities down and then go from there. Okay, all have passed. Alright, here we go. Giant otters. Yay! Come on, go into your home. Go into your home. Go to your home. No, Luis disappeared again. Sorry for yawning so much. How long have I alive? Wow, 2 hours. That went by fast. All right, I do think that we're going to get these guys in here and then just see what we need to do to make them at least basically happy. And then that might be it for today's stream. And then hopefully I will start streaming a little bit more regularly. I don't intend to necessarily put out a specific schedule or anything like that yet. But it will probably be something that I do with some degree of regularity now. All right. Wow. Okay. Not happy really at all. Good God. Okay. So... all right, old man. You go get some sleep. All right, Razor. You have a good night, too. Thanks for coming by. All right. So, average navigable water depth. So, I don't understand. Yeah, no keepers assigned to it. How deep does the water have to be? 90? 108. Yeah, I know. They can't reach. Oh, they want like 0 rock. That's fun. Okay, so that's not updating. They can obviously get in the water. And this little dude's already in it. But how deep does it have to go? Now, of course, the game wouldn't want to tell me, like, what that is. Hide my face so you guys can see it. I mean, 3 otters in here, 480. I mean, that's actually a decent amount of room. There's plenty of actual water. Huh. All right. Well, I'm going to have to figure that out. Grass, rock, sand. Oh, they like sand, huh? And then this is not sharing any area with any other animals. Oh. Oh, I'm such a dumbass. Okay. That's why. Or at least part of the reason why. I'm actually surprised I'm not getting any notifications that they would escape. That's super weird. Because, I mean, they should be able to get down as far as, like, all the way in. But because my habitat barrier ends here... Alright, well, let's fix that first. Because this should be part of their habitat barrier, because I want them to be able to get all the way down here. So, habitat, nope, barrier. As you can see, this comes all the way up here. And then, I mean, I just need this kind of blocked off, so I guess I could... and there's no real reason for it to do this. I guess... shit. Just bring this to here. And I think we're just going to take this one and move it and connect it there. I think the idea here was that the animals would then be considered in the habitat. Yeah, because you can see over here I have it connected. So I probably need to just bring this over to there. Delete all of this. So it's going to break the habitat. So I guess we're going to have to box up the animals first. So let's do that. Because otherwise it freaks out and says that they escape. All right, Potato. I'll be here. Box all animals. So that might be why we're running into that kind of weird problem. Nope. Don't undo that one. Undo this one. It's actually funny it let me take that panel out even though there's glass in there. So I think how we're going to do this is we'll just bring this across this way and that way. So guests will be in the habitat all along here, all along here. Let's delete that panel, this one, this. Because we're going to make it to this back path. Has the guests in the habitat. So we'll just go along our wall here, here, there, and then there. So that should complete the circuit, as it were, for all of this. Let's go ahead and just going to readjust some things here a little bit. I just like these to be kind of inside the walls instead of like visible like this orange or yellow is. I mean, it's not the end of the world by any means, because once we stop editing it, it's not visible at all, but I still like it. And so this will put guests inside the habitat, and then the otters, when they swim down, if they're able to swim down this far, when they swim down here, they will still be inside their habitat instead of triggering an alarm. This is the idea that we have. Okay, so just consider a complete habitat it is. Alright, and then that's all. Now, let's see. Okay, so that went up. Sweet. We barely have enough, but we have enough. There, solved that problem. Alright, they don't have any hard shelter, so what'll probably happen is, as part of this structure, we can probably build something out here and have that be part of their hard shelter. And then, or maybe we'll just build a separate little building and we can even just get rid of this little section of wall, because that should be about 8 meters across, so we could just do something specific there. So, all right, so let's go ahead and take care of the easy kill. It kind of bugs me that that is not that much water for them. I mean, I guess I could make it larger, but the station's there. I could go further this way. Like, that wouldn't be a problem. Because, I mean, some of this water's up underneath here anyway, but I mean, we'll leave it. It's just a matter of when they have babies, then it's going to cause some problems. Terrain. This. Nope, enter. Clearly, you can tell I've not done this in a while. All right, so they want more long grass. Let's shrink this down, because that's kind of insane. I'll just go to my standard 50. All right, I want to get sand kind of along the edge here. All right, so we managed to get rid of a lot of the rock that they were complaining about. So let's keep doing this until we get rid of enough of the short grass that they don't care. Okay, perfect. Now let's pop some long grass in here. Maybe get a little on the edges here. Put some coarse sand right along the edge. Okay. Sweet. Nice, all this green, everything's getting greened up real good. Real good. All right, plants. Okay, they want lots of plants. That's good. I like it when they like lots of plants, because then that means we could put tons and tons of shit in here. So we're going to leave this space empty for whatever structure we build for them. I'm still not sure if I'm going to attach it to that. I might And I might even put like a little bit of something here and a little bit of something here, but we'll go from there. All right, so Central South America, and then tropical grasslands and aquatic. So nature, theme. No, not theme. Biome is going to be tropical, grassland, and aquatic. Continent here, and then there we go. Got a decent amount of stuff that we can put down. All right, I don't want these snapping or anything, so we're gonna go like so and hit that. I don't want to put too much, or I don't want to put anything like super close to the entrance either, because that can really screw things up. Maybe we'll put a tree here. Here, and we'll try to get a little bit of shade for our guests too. That works. And what is this? So I guess let's try to get this. I don't know where this like should be in the water. I guess we're just going to try to put it around here. Put a little more there. Maybe, oh, that's even got a little planty plant in it. So maybe we'll stick that guy there. Perfect. All right. Underwater large eelgrass. Oh, so this is that stuff that we can actually put. That makes sense to put down below the water's surface. Oh, really? What? We're not allowed to do that? Since when? Do I have to take the water volume out first? That's going to be dumb. Alright, well, we don't have any critters in it yet, so I guess we can try to take the water out. That's under terrain still. Let's just do that. Can I put it back? Okay, yes. Now go back to nature. That's really weird that like once you have the water there, like it won't let you build under the water. And I don't need to have a whole lot of this down here, but it's still like it'd be something I could use like kind of up along the edge here. Without it bleeding through the stuff there. So like that. It's getting caught on the dirt above me, or not dirt, but the terrain above me. Part of why it's acting a little bit goofy. Okay, I think that'll be all right. We can maybe spritz a little bit more here or there, just to make it a little bit different. Get some big boys, and then maybe we'll put a little bit here. There. Maybe even some on this like kind of ramp that we inadvertently created. Shit. Okay, now can I put the water back? Gonna let me go that high with it? Oh, that's actually where I wanted it to be. Sweet. Yep, because that's related to that. It covers all that stuff. Sweetness. All right. What else do you guys want for plants? Still need a lot more to go. All right. So use want to do anything too much there. Maybe do something like that here. Smaller one maybe there. Hopefully that none of this is really affecting their traversable area. It shouldn't be, but you just never really know. And here, like that's funny. That one was going to let me put it like all the way down underneath, but this one just would, or that other one just would not let me go under the water. Let's do this here. It'd be really cool if they could like get in the little like lily pads. That's the one I already did. Let's do this one. Right there. I think that'll be good. Then put some of this stuff down right around our trees. Kind of fill in some of these little gaps here. All right. There. I will do more decoration. I'm just trying to really get these guys to a point where they're content, because I want to build the build like a habitat, or not a habitat, a hard shelter for them first before we get too crazy with any of this, because I need to make sure that it's something that will work for what the animals need and fit inside of here. Okay, so that's what we needed there. That's actually like epic. I like that tree. Really like that tree. Okay, and then maybe we could do, there's one of those already. Maybe we can do something like this. That's sort of like right on the water's edge, like right there. Yeah, so 43 should be okay. And then this is nice too, because I could use some of this stuff to maybe like clean up some of the edges with certain things. Okay, so what is your traversable area now? All right, so you can get all the way down in here. It's funny that as soon as I go into the water, though, it doesn't actually show me that they can get down in there, even though they can. But it doesn't look like there's any escape points or anything, so that's good. Okay, let's hit play. Then habitat broke. Hard shelter. Temp. Temp's probably too warm. Yep. And then enrichment. Hard shelter. Okay. So that is something that we will work on next time, I believe. But I just wanted to kind of get back into it. See how it goes. Throat's getting a little raw from talking, so I don't want to like overdo it in one day. But this was a lot of fun. Definitely more decoration to do and all that, so I will save that for next stream. And then we'll also get in some education boards and all those kind of things. We'll also try to get a talking point worked in here somewhere. We might have to do that maybe right about here, but it just depends on whether it says there's enough space, because this one we had to move away from the barrier before it would actually like work. So I don't know if that's been a change or what specifically is going on. And then obviously we need donation bins and benches and all those kind of things. We can probably put some rock in here as well. I was hoping to build like a little waterfall kind of thing for them, and maybe we still can. Maybe that's where we can kind of build a little bit of a hard shelter. Because if we go into, I think it's under construction. Nope. Facilities, maybe? I guess it would help if I'm on all. Because, yeah, there's these things here, which, I mean, effectively make a a waterfall. It actually surprised me they let me place it there, but so if I were to do something like this and then maybe pull it down just enough, but then this is like your standard, I mean, not standard, I mean, this thing's like 8 meters wide, but you could actually build like a little building around it and then even make it that maybe the otters get up on top, but it's obviously very large. They've got smaller ones, so maybe we would just do it with a smaller one. But I'd like that water to land inside of the like this water here, but we'll have to see whether we can make that be a thing or not. I didn't really plan for that, so we might just have to forego that with this habitat and then maybe consider it for a different one. Oh, goodness. But at any rate, I hope all of you guys had a good time hanging out. It's definitely been a blast getting back into this. If you haven't done so already, please consider hitting subscribe and that notification bell, so even when MeBot is acting like a moron, you get notifications as to when I go online next. Also, if you don't mind, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, tell me what you like, didn't like in the comments below. All of that stuff really helps with discoverability, and it also lets me know whether you like the content or whether I need to start doing something different. But until then, you guys have a great night, and I hope to talk to you next time. Bye-bye.